Hi, my name is Michael Rice. I believe the drinking age should be lowered from 21 to 18. Because at 18, you're a legal adult. You should be able to decide if you can drink or not. Secondly, it will lessen the thrill of underage drinking. And thirdly, it's a major, major safety issue. Now to elaborate on my points. First off, at 18, you're a legal adult. You are fully responsible for your actions. But you cannot decide if you can have a beer or not. You can vote for the President of the United States, but you can't have a beer. You can be in the military, you can put your life on the line, but you can't have a beer? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's not right. Secondly, it'll lessen the thrill of drinking alcohol underage. Because underage drinkers associate that with maturity, with older people, with being more mature. Underage people will drink for that fact alone. Thirdly, it's a major, major safety issue. If the 18-year-olds are allowed to drink in public, allowed to go to a bar, allowed to drink in a restaurant, they are where can oversee them, can take care of them, you can manage how much they're drinking, can tell them when to stop, when to cut them off. They're less likely to drink too much, or less likely to drink enough to where they pass out. But whereas if you let them drink underground, behind closed doors, in a basement, where there's no supervision, they're allowed to drink as much as they want. They'll binge drink and they'll drink until they pass out, drink until they can't function anymore, which is a major safety issue. Which brings me to this point, where if people have been drinking underage together and one person needs medical help, needs attention, the person who's under the influence and underage is less likely to make the call because they don't want to get in trouble themselves. I found a video that makes my point very clear. You ready?
Puts it, it's so widespread, it's the norm.
This law has been an abysmal failure. It hasn't reduced or eliminated drinking. It has simply driven it underground, behind closed doors, into the most risky and least manageable of settings.
Like basements, fraternity houses, and locked dorm rooms, where kids go to hide from the law and from adults, including parents, who might teach them some moderation. McCardle says the law has created a dangerous culture of irresponsible and reckless behavior, unsupervised binge and extreme drinking. This is called 6 and 10, downing 6 cups of beer in 10 seconds. Kids try to perfect the art of getting drunk as fast as possible by playing drinking games and preloading, downing as much of the forbidden fruit as possible before going out in order to avoid getting caught drinking in public.
Who you been drinking? What have you been drinking? Hey. It's bad law in that it is unworkable. It's bad social.
Well, is it unworkable or people just don't enforce it?
The issue of enforceability is present, but the fact is it is so regularly and routinely avoided that enforcement results in 2 arrests or convictions for every 1,000 violations.
We're not in a situation where we can stop it. The best we can do is try to contain it.
Mark Beckner, the chief of police in Boulder, Colorado, a college town, deals with underage drinking every day. So you're basically telling us that you simply can't enforce the law. They are drinking and you cannot enforce it.
Well, we do enforce it, but what we're seeing is it's not being effective.
Beckner has tried many different kinds of enforcement techniques over the years, including strict crackdowns.
We find a party where we know there's underage drinking, we would seal the house, surround the house with officers, and we would write every single underage person coming out of that house. We wrote hundreds and hundreds of tickets those years. All we did is we pushed it further underground.
For that reason, he is one of the few chiefs of police in the country who publicly agrees with McCardle and supports lowering the drinking age. So what's the advantage to lowering the age to 18?
The overall advantage is we're not trying to enforce a law that's unenforceable. The abuse of alcohol and the overconsumption of alcohol and DUI driving, those are the areas we've got to focus our efforts, not on chasing kids around trying to give them a ticket for having a cup of beer in their hand.
Part of Beckner's
Now I'm going to show you a video of a sad video of a person who didn't call for help whenever their friend needed it, and they're both underage and drinking.
time the group got back to the fraternity house, Lanahan says that Gordy was incapacitated.
His eyes were rolling back in his head, and he couldn't walk. And this isn't somebody that just had too much to drink. He was clearly in trauma.
Lanahan says that the fraternity brothers put Gordy on the library couch and just left him there alone.
The president of the fraternity did ask several brothers at intervals to go in and take Gordy's pulse, as if to say, tell me if he's alive or dead.
So he's on a couch, passed out, for hours? And hours and hours? 9 hours. And no one called for help.
911, where's your emergency?
Need to get an ambulance?
What's going on?
We got a guy who's passed out. He drank way too much and we found him this morning.
Is he breathing?
I don't know. He's not waking up.
Gordy died alone in an empty room with his friends surrounding him. And it's just very preventable, just inexcusable.
Gordy
Videos clearly made my point of that at 18 you're an adult, that it lessens the thrill of drinking underage, and that it's a major safety issue. Thank you, and drink safe.